So we mentioned price. Based on all the information, and you know, I got some of it on the phone when we first spoke, but based on all the information, where it is, when it is, what day of the week it is, are they having anything extra, are they having projectors, are they having a slideshow, are they having a separate musician, is it a room big enough that we're going to need to bring like extra subs in or extra lights in, do they need a separate setup for the ceremony itself, which is not in the same place that the reception is going to be held. These are all things which will influence the final price, and it's only in this meeting that we'll actually know what all of those things are going to be. Now once we get to that point, then based on what I know I need to make, and based on what I'm worth as having done this for a long time, my experience, you know, how I value my own service, based on all of that, I'll give them a final price, and that's the final price, and it will be agreed on. We'll have all the things that they're going to get all written down on the contract. They're all taken care of on here. If later they decide, hey, we changed our mind and we decided we'd really kind of like to have a harpist playing during cocktail hour, then we'll do an add-on, and we'll do a separate contract for that. There won't be any surprises. I'm not going to get to the day and expect and have them say, hey, you know, we need this, 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 and this, because it's all written down and it's all in the contract. Once I've stated my price based on all of these factors, I don't apologize for it. And that's really, you know, that's what it boils down to. I'm not sorry I cost X amount, because that's what the years of experience and that's what I bring to the entire event is worth. We as entertainers are probably anywhere between 3 and 5% of the total budget, and yet we're 75 to 85% of the success of the day. So I'm not going to apologize for that. Here's what it costs. If they can't afford me, they can't afford me, and you know, I'll do what I can, but the bottom line is that by the time we get to that, it very rarely comes down to price. It's usually about, you know, are we a good fit? Do they want to work with me? As part of my setup, I do, on my contract here, I have, you know, there will be the price that we'll actually agree on. Now I ask for a 25% retainer. It's not a deposit, it's a retainer, because they've retained my services for that night. If they, you know, decide, you know what, we're going to go off to Aruba and get married there, and you know, thanks very much, then you know, they're not going to get the retainer back, because I could have booked other weddings on their day that I've saved for them. So you know, they don't get the retainer back. If they decide they want to move the date, you know, for instance, oh, we thought we'd have it in November, but that might be a bit cold, can we have it the following May? Then, you know, sure, absolutely, we'll come to an agreement. But usually if they cancel, they're not going to get the retainer back, because otherwise I have to look after my own business and make sure that I'm not giving up dates that I could have otherwise have booked. So that is payable when they return. I will have them have a copy of this. They fill in their information. If they decide they want me to do it, then they'll send it back with the check for the retainer. But then the balance isn't due until much later. The balance isn't due until 10 days before the actual event itself. What I tell people is, I'm not a car salesman. Sorry, Brian. I'm not a car salesman. I'm not looking to force anybody into making a quick decision. I want you to go away and take time. I want you to sit down and chat with each other and really kind of discuss the pros and the cons. Maybe even talk to other DJs. If that's what you want to do, absolutely. I would rather have you make your decision, and I'd rather have my bride and groom make a decision happily, rather than feeling it was forced on them because, I said, well, I'm not leaving until you sign this. And then when we're done, I give them this away with them. I give them a package. It will have the contract. It will also have a list, just a short list of a whole bunch of kind of suggested wedding songs for, you know, the first dances, the mother-son dance, father-daughter dance, all of those kind of things. Just a little package that they take away with them, and one of my, you know, postcards with some information on it. I give them that away with them, and of course on the inside I would always put a business card in there as well. So I give them this away with them. I'm probably going to do something a little more kind of snazzy for next year, but for the time being that'll do. They take that away with them, and what I tell them then is they've got 10 days that I hold their date. I guarantee I will not give their date away for 10 days. And the reason I do that is to give them a chance to really make an informed decision without feeling pressure. Generally speaking, you know, they're going to get back to me within 10 days. Occasionally they'll take longer than that, but as I say to them, after 10 days I can't guarantee that your date will be held, because somebody else may have got in first. Now really what happens is somebody calls me up and says, hey, can I have such and such a date, and I know that this one is penciled in. First thing I would do is phone my prospective clients and say, hey look, somebody's after that date. Are you still interested, or you know, are you maybe just got busy and forgot to send the check in, or have you decided to go somewhere else? Because if you have, that's fine, I'll free up that date. And then when I get home, I send them an email thanking them for meeting with me, and if I think it's going to be a good fit, I think we're going to get on well together, I'll tell them and I'll ask them for their business, and I'll say how much I would love to be a part of their big day, and then I'll leave it at that. Because quite frankly, like I said, I'm not a car salesman. If they've got any questions, they can certainly email me or look at my website or whatever, but generally speaking, they'll make the decision they're going to make, and they'll have all the information they need. So next time, part 3, which is if they decide they want me to do it, what happens next. Practice and enjoy.